There's all sorts of videos on YouTube about self-care. Some might say that putting on a face mask, lighting a candle, or taking a bubble bath are going to make you feel better. But truthfully, these things are only a band-aid to help us unwind on occasion. They might help you feel great in the moment and relax, which is awesome, but today we're going to be talking about things that you can implement into your routine. Self-care is about living intentionally, purposefully, and consciously. And with consistency, we can achieve more well-being throughout the week instead of carrying our stress day after day. My name is Sierra, and I like to make videos on self-development, fashion, and anything lifestyle related, so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, feel free to subscribe down below. Now, let's dive into the different types of self-care. We will be looking into physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and social self-care. Now let's get started. Physical self-care looks different for everyone, but we can all agree that taking care of our bodies is a crucial way to maintain overall health. There are many forms of exercise out there which might be intimidating for some, but all you really need to do is just get moving. You don't have to do vigorous exercise unless you want to or you have specific goals in that area of your life. Whether it's going on a walk, practicing yoga, doing CrossFit, or any other type of exercise, I promise you that implementing it into your routine will definitely make you feel better. My recommendation? Start in the morning with just a few days a week of exercise. By starting slow and not putting too much pressure on yourself to work out every single day, and by doing exercises that you like, you'll eventually find the sweet spot where you're challenging yourself just enough, but not overdoing it. The key is to make it something you enjoy, not an obligation. Another way to implement physical self-care is to eat healthy and nourishing foods for your body. We don't have to be perfect and put a ton of pressure on ourselves to count calories or demonize certain foods. It's all about balance. By eating healthy as often as we can, we're showing our bodies self-love by giving it the proper fuel it needs to get going throughout the day. We each have our own unique chemistry, so if you want to dive a little deeper into what works for you and what doesn't, I would recommend keeping a food diary and logging all the foods that you eat throughout the week. Keep track of what you eat and see what gives you the most energy throughout the day, what gives you the least, what gives you a stomach ache, and other things like that. This will be so helpful in knowing exactly what works well for your body, and when you're going on future trips to the grocery store, you'll know exactly what to buy. If you struggle to find time to cook or just don't enjoy cooking, consider inviting a friend over, putting on your favorite music, and cooking together to make it more enjoyable. Making larger batches of food might also be a great idea, because then when you come home from work, you don't have to worry about putting anything together. You can just heat up leftovers in the microwave. Emotional self-care is just as important as physical. Checking in on ourselves and taking a deeper look into our emotions, what they are rooted in, and our strengths and weaknesses can be massively beneficial. We focus so much energy on trying to get to know other people, but wouldn't it be worth a little extra time to get to know yourself? Doing this will not only help you better care for yourself, but also better care for your family and friends, and help you be aware of certain thinking patterns and triggers. Some things you can do consistently for emotional self-care include mindful meditation, journaling, or just expressing yourself, whether that be through writing, taking photos, or drawing. If you're able to access resources like therapy or alternative healing therapies, this might also be a great way to heal from past traumas. Spiritual self-care is easy to set aside for some because the benefits aren't as tangible as emotional or physical self-care. If you align yourself with a certain religion, you might feel that you're already receiving your spiritual self-care, but you by no means have to be religious to engage in spiritual self-care. This extends beyond emotional self-care because you're finding your meaning in life, finding your purpose, and also striving for inner peace. Meditation is a great way to get started. Spending time in nature, practicing positive affirmations, and even just doing your own research into other rituals can really help bring you further to your own enlightenment. Intellectual self-care isn't something I consider necessary on a daily basis, just considering the average person's work schedule, or if you're a student, you're in a constant state of learning. However, if you love learning and you want to expand your knowledge, this is definitely the one for you. Intellectual self-care involves taking the time to challenge your mind a little bit. Learning a new skill, reading a book, watching a podcast. Watching a podcast? Do we know how podcasts work? I don't think so. Or watching a documentary on something informative can all be different ways that you can incorporate intellectual self-care. Let's delve into social self-care. This might look different for everybody depending on your level of introversion or extroversion, but we are by nature social beings and we all need that social connection. So don't forget to spend time with your loved ones and connect with your friends. All of this can help you to gain or even regain a sense of social self-care. Okay, so I just piled a lot of information on you. I'm going to break things down into a more digestible routine that you can implement throughout your week. You'll find that some of these might overlap between sections, so feel free to just kind of pick a few and experiment when you're implementing them into your week. For social self-care, plan to talk on the phone with a friend, or if you safely can, meet them in person for a chat. Do this whenever you feel like you need to recharge your social batteries. For some, this might mean once a week. For some, it might mean less than that. Just make sure when you're planning out your month that you have time set aside for your friends. Whichever intellectual self-care item you choose to do, that will negate how much time you need to spend on it. For example, if you're learning a language, you're going to need to spend more time throughout the week, whereas if you're reading a book, that might be something you only do a few nights a week. Just remember not to overwhelm yourself with information and take things slowly. The faster you try to blaze through information, the less you'll actually retain and learn. In terms of spiritual self-care, meditating for 10 minutes a day is a great way to start. There are several meditation apps you can get for free and a lot of guided meditations here on YouTube as well. Anytime a negative thought pops into your head, observe that thought and try to counteract it with a positive affirmation. This will help to rewire your brain to think more positively about yourself, and it'll make life a lot easier and a lot happier. If you're already meditating, then great. You are overlapping spiritual and emotional self-care. For me personally, I feel a deep need to express myself, so I do that through my photography by booking photo shoots as often as I can. So yeah, what I was gonna say here is whatever your creative medium may be, creating the time for that release is such a great way to take care of yourself. So if you feel the urge to write, paint, take pictures, even if you don't like your work, just sit down and do it. Part of physical self-care includes your space around you, so I try to make my bed every morning and keep my space clean. As far as for what I like to do, I also try to exercise at least 3 times a week, and I try a new recipe out each week as well, just to kind of figure out what works best for my body and what I like and don't like. And yes, every Sunday I sit down and do a face mask because I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think about this video by either leaving a like or dislike. Comment down below if you have any ideas, suggestions, or feedback for future videos, and feel free to subscribe if you'd like to support me and my channel going forward. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Scheduling photo. Whatever your creative medium might be, letting yourself what? This might mean once a week. For some, it might mean a lot less than that.